So I wanted to talk about scarcity mindset and abundance mindset. Hold on. Scarcity mindset and abundance mindset. I think very important topics and subjects to think about, because most of the time, as human beings, and we, grew up on this planet, we deployed onto this earth. Um, you had to go out and like get hunt for your food. You had to go and get your stuff. And you had to go and get your food for the day and stuff like that. I mean, you know that already. Point was that when you had to go out and get stuff, you didn't never really knew whether that same fruit is going to be there on that tree every day, because once you take it, it's done and gone. And we are limited to the amount of environment that we're able to see and access. So for example, you right now living over here, like me for example, I can access this amount of area, and my worldview is this much, like, and I can go here and go there, and I can get certain things done. And inherently, as human beings, we always want to either reduce the number of calories we want to expel, and we want to yeah we typically want to reduce the burning of our calories, right, as like as a species or as an animal. Hence, with those two graphs, you need to understand that we always have kind of inherently been born with like kind of a scarcity mindset, which is we don't have access or the exposure to the abundance, because you're not facing it every day. Imagine you were, let's say, God, for example, that can see everything, the other all seeing, so you can witness every mini and micro thing happening on this planet and on this universe. You can witness all the human beings, the 7.5, 8 billion of us, right? And you actually visualize it, when you actually visualize or try to visualize 8 billion, you won't be able to. There's no chance. There's no chance that you'll be able to visualize 8 billion. You have to look at Earth. You have to look. You have to look at it from a very far distance. Still, it will not fit. For it will be blurry, and hence we are only and only aware of the things that we are aware about. And if the things that we are aware about is not wide, we don't have a large perspective on life and on things, then we will not have a large perspective on things, and which means we will have a particular perspective to something as or some place, or you get what I'm saying. It's like you have a torch, and that torch is illuminating that light, and that torch is going to illuminate only till that distance and that area. And you can like move around and stuff, but still you're not going to be able to cover enough ground. And the point is that we, as I mentioned, inherently lack awareness, and because we lack awareness, we typically feel that the world is scarce, there's not enough, and I need to um, I need to ration this thought, I need to ration this thing. And nothing wrong in rationing. The point I'm trying to make is that the mindset of scarcity needs to be applied. I'm not saying it's bad at all. It needs to be applied when things are actually scarce, like when things are actually scarce. But sometimes, like for example, when I say actually scarce, like when you actually have, like, let's say it's winter and you're not going to get crop for the next 2 3 months, and the resources are scarce, you need to ration it out, and you need to like actually like strategically think about that, right, and make the right decision. But sometimes what happens is we might, it's a thinking error, we might end up applying that scarcity mindset to another thing altogether in life. you know that because of that thought that thought pattern is applied to this subject A or this particular scenario A, does not mean that the same thought pattern needs to be applied to subject B or scenario B. An example, in business, we always feel that the number of customers are scarce. We feel that our ideas are scarce. We feel that the money in this world is scarce. We feel X, Y, and Z scarce. I mean, or is limited, or is low, or there's not enough. I don't have enough customers. I don't have enough people. I don't have enough friends. I don't have. It's just that you haven't really been exposed to. Maybe not the thing. You may know that money is available, but you might not be exposed to the number of ways of getting it. You might not be exposed to the number of ways and the possibilities and combinations of you making friends. So I always like to go with this rule of thumb. There are a million ways to make $1. And if you try all those million ways to make $1, you'll end up making $1 million. And apply that same concept to almost anything you want in life. There are a million, if not billion ways to get whatever you want in life. All you have to do is probably like find out what's the top 3 or top 5 or top 10 ways or top 100 ways to do it, that will allow you to do it sustainably, not make you spend a lot of money to get it, or in other words, a lot of time to get it. You got to, there are a million ways to get what you want in life. Write them down. All right, you'll automatically find out what are the most simplest and easiest ways to get that particular thing. And the best part is, when you write stuff down, when you ask yourself a question, you will come with the answer as you write the question. As you articulate your question, the mind also creates an answer. And that's the beauty of the human mind. You can solve almost any problem you want in this universe. I mean, this is a hyperbole, but an exaggeration. But you know what I'm trying to say. My point is that if you actually put your mind to it, you can actually solve anything you want. If you actually articulate your thoughts, put them down, you'll get clarity. You'll understand ways of doing it. You need to start strategizing, start writing stuff down. The moment you start writing stuff down, you're crafting a strategy. Then you circle the top most ways of getting what you want, and then it's a matter of doing it, right? And if you want to do it, then again, you just take those goals and convert them into tasks, like daily, weekly, and monthly tasks. And then you just make sure to keep yourself accountable, or make sure someone else keeps you accountable to making sure that your to-do list is getting completed. And as long as your to-do list is getting completed, automatically your main goal is being achieved. And that's how I like to think about life. There are a million ways to get something, a million ways to do something. And the sky is the limit. Try different ways. You never know what's your method, what's your way of doing something. You speak to, if you're in a room with like like millionaires, or like people that are successful, not necessarily millionaires. Making $1 million does not matter in life. What matters is being successful. And what does mean successful is someone tried to do something and they got that is called success, right? And when you surround yourself with successful people, they'll tell you their own unique way of getting that particular thing, and what they tried, and the combinations that they tried. And and you'll find out that everyone is unique. Like there's one guy who does just um, one guy who makes money just making hoist for yachts. There's some guy who makes shoelaces. There's some guy who makes phone covers, and just doing that one particular thing. And we've scaled that. These are boring businesses, but you scale it. You just put your all into something. And some people who are passionate about also certain things, they just pour their all into that, and they end up becoming huge. Like artists like Coldplay, like he loves music and he loves singing, and he just poured his all into it, and made it big. So you just gotta identify, write down the things that you feel you're good at, write down the things that you want to achieve, and then start building upon that, start building to it, start creating your own goals, start creating your own tasks and to do's, and break them down from monthly, weekly, yearly, and set a strategy for yourself and start working towards it. Stop consuming stuff online on social media and stop comparing your life. Everyone's life is unique, and everyone's situations are different, and the only thing that we all have equally as human beings on this planet is time. Me and you get the same 24 hours every day, and every day is a new opportunity for you to try something new, for you to do something that other people don't do. The way you choose to use your 1 hour and the way I choose to use my 1 hour are completely different and are completely independent. So yeah, choose to, if you want something, go out there and get it. Like, work hard for it. Nothing comes easy. If it was easy, then everyone would be able to do it. So yep, cheers and have a good night.